Hi there! I've recorded several episodes about ROM, Hanami, and Ruby, but none of them touch the testing part from their practical point of view. In this episode, I'll talk exactly about that. Or, to be more precise, how to quickly instantiate and persist objects for testing purposes using ROM-Factory. I have this little project where I can publish my articles using my interactor class. I have 3 tests written for it, and to test the interactor well, I need to have some articles persisted in the database. I have 2 different articles, one published and in the other example, unpublished. The problem with this is that I have a foreign key set on author's ID and a not null constraint, which in this case will be violated. Creating objects directly in test examples is problematic because I need to know exactly which attributes are required and what relations need to be created. More importantly, whenever some of it changes, I need to run through all my tests and update all the objects' definition accordingly. Wouldn't it be cool if I'd have this logic extracted to a single place and never worry if I create a valid object or not? This is where the concept of factories had been born. If you have a Rails background, I'm sure you've heard about FactoryBot, the popular gem used to quickly build instances of your models so testing can be fun. I totally recommend it for Rails projects, as I use it a lot and I like it very much. However, while they claim to not be Rails specific, I find it very troublesome to use it with non-active records projects. If you've met projects using FactoryBot out of the Rails specific gems or apps, please let me know. I'll gladly take a closer look at this. The idea behind factories is super cool, and I guess anyone who had a chance to work with FactoryBot or a similar library would like to see something like this in Hanami or ROM too. Good news! ROM has a dedicated gem that we can use exactly for this purpose. In Hanami applications, we use rom-rb for the persistence layer, and ROM comes with a small, neat gem to support those of us who test their code on a daily basis. It's a ROM-Factory gem, and despite some minor syntax differences, I'm sure you'll find it very similar to whatever you got used so far. The difference is that ROM-Factory works with ROM relations out of the box, and there is minimal to no configuration required. To install the gem, you'll need a ROM-Factory gem added to the gem file and run bundle to install it. It has a faker gem listed as a dependency, so in case you don't have it in your project yet, you can still use it out of the box to generate the random data for your fields. To configure the ROM-Factory in your project, which in my case will be a Hanami application, you just need to add the factory configuration file to your spec support folder and point to the ROM container instance. I'm going to require the faker here, so I don't need to care if it's loaded in the specific factories who use it. Finally, I need to load the factory definition files, which I'll store in the spec/support/factories folder. Then load this configuration in the spec_helpel file. Our gem is fully configured now to be used within our test suite. Now we can define some factories for our tests. First, let me create an article factory. For my test, I won't care about any of the attributes I don't check at the given moment. For now, I'm only interested in creating a draft article and a published one. To solve the problem with not null constraint violation, I'm going to add the association pointing to the author. With this, whenever I create an article using this factory, the author will also be instantiated with the use of the author factory, which I'll define right now. In a new factory file, I'm adding a simple object, filling in first underscore name, last underscore name, and a nickname. The nickname is a unique field, so I'll use the sequence feature to set different values each time the factory is used. With this, I can now don't care about the exact object initialization logic in my test, but just use my factory and hide all that inside. I know it's not much of benefits in this little example, but for more complex application, persisting objects in test can be extremely annoying. Why to bother if you don't need to? ROM-Factory is a nice gem created to make ROM-based applications more testable. and I need to admit they succeed with it. I am a huge fan of testing my code, so I love having this in place. As I got used to the FactoryBot before, I hope you'll enjoy it too. If you like this video, hit a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content in this fashion, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. You can also subscribe to the newsletter and follow me on Twitter. I want to especially thank my recent sponsors, Akilas Yemane, Biltien, Benjamin Klotz, for supporting this project. I really appreciate it. If you know other great gems you wish me to talk about, leave a comment with hashtag suggestion and I'll gladly cover them in future episodes. As usual, here you can find 2 of my previous videos. Thank you all for supporting my channel. You are awesome and have a nice rest of your day.